Okay, guys, big day at Sorare, big morning, really, especially from where I live. I woke up at 2 a.m., which is Vancouver time here, for this Sorare launch of the limited cards. Wanted to see what's going on and checked it out for about 10 minutes, so I went back to bed. But now I'm back checking things out and have a bit of just kind of quick analysis. We're in a power hour right now. So, the first thing that we're seeing, and if you're on Discord, you'll see the comments going crazy over just the prices of these cards. Obviously, they're one of 1,000, and so we would expect that the prices would be fairly cheap, and that's the whole intention in order to get new participants into the league and make the kind of entry level easier. So, but of course, all these cards are the first of their kind. It's all number ones, and so we're actually seeing a much more inflated pricing, and people are going nuts on Discord about it. But I think we are going to see it really come down to earth, and some more reflective prices of the intention of Sorare once we get past the number ones and stuff. So the whales, I guess, have come in and they're kind of scooping those types of things up. And not even just the whales, just I think people with a bit of cash to burn here, and we'll kind of look at that right now. So I pulled up some cards. This is live here, but the very first card that came out at 2 a.m. my time was Iniesta. I thought that was pretty cool. Thought about throwing some money in, but I wouldn't have made it with where he landed. So he went for half an Ethereum, and it's interesting here comparing that to, look at that compared to even a super rare. That's pretty phenomenal. So again, this is probably hyped up by the fact that it is the first limited card produced by Sorare, so definitely a collector's item in that regard. But at least it's basically around the same price as the first super rare for him. So personally, I'd rather have this one. I'll take that one all day. But of course, that was a bit a while back. But that was kind of interesting. That kicked things off. Then I kind of wanted to just see, what about just players that nobody really knows much, and not investing in. And one of the great things is just about a week ago we had the Austrian, I keep saying Australian, the Austrian Bundesliga come into play with new cards. So we actually have some kind of nice comparables in terms of the number one cards for this season of that league, and the number one in rare, and then the number one cards in limited. So let's have a look here. So this guy, I don't know who he is, but you can see the prices here are pretty similar. But again, so his super rare was was 0.031. Pretty so. Probably not a high value player. Then his number one rare card 0.021, and then 0.05. So I would think either of these represent value compared to this one here. This one seems like it's sort of hyperinflated when really just a week ago or so you could have spent just a little bit more and got the number one card if you're a fan of this guy and like his performance. I'm not sure you would necessarily. Sorry, Fabian. And then this one was just the guy kind of next to him on the auction, and but similar. But this one actually had maybe a closer alignment to what you'd expect. So, 0.053, and then the card number one here at 0.037, and this one's 0.009. So that's a little more rational, I suppose, and even it's debatable whether you would be happier with card 4 or card 1. So this is a positive sign that things may be, especially by looking at the market for sort of less stable. Again, sorry, Fabio. It at least kind of shows where it starts to remove some of that kind of market insanity that can happen with some of the bigger players and things like that. So this is a positive sign, and I think that the folks at Sorare should be pleased to see that, okay, this is maybe where things will head once we get past the card number one. now, popular player puts up some great numbers from in terms of game weeks and stuff like that, and then just valued piece. So the I found this one interesting. So 138 is what his card went for. I mean, right now this this 3 out of 100 rare card has 6 hours to go, and it's about triple or 2.5 times or so. So look, these 138 versus 280 for card one of the rares. I mean, I think I'd rather chip in, pay about double, and get the card of a rare. And really what we're seeing is like that price is pretty inflated compared to even the super rare. I mean, it's about 8 times or 7 times or something like that. So again, we're just seeing some real inflation now, and that should come down over time. It'll be interesting to see how these kind of play out for a pretty popular guy like this. And then the other thing I wanted to look at was the market for manager sales. So there'd be a lot of people just flipping cards right now, just buying these guys and seeing what they can get. So, first off, don't be scared off by. I need to move down a little. Don't be scared off by the sort of 4-digit here. I'm assuming that they've kind of extended that out now because with these limited cards, there will be cards going for really probably down into this thousandth spot. So, if it helps to just kind of cover it up, to kind of wrap your head around it, go for it. But so, see if you kind of call any guys here, but I mean, this is pretty reasonable. You just bought it for 138, and selling it for 140. So basically maybe just making a few bucks. Let's find someone else. Adam Books. MLS. He's bought for 130, and go away Facebook. 130 and selling for 140. Okay, I mean, just in a couple examples here, nothing too reasonable. When I looked earlier, let's see, Carlos Vela. So 780 and 220. Okay, so this one's a little over the top. It's 220. The guy bought for it, and he's selling for 780. Best of luck to you, Wizzy06. If you get it, you're a better salesperson than me. But looking at this, Brenner is a good example here, and maybe I'll look at Vela in a second here. So Brenner is bought for 132. Guys selling him for 217. So certainly an inflation there. But so if we look at his cards here, I mean, these are currently on sale in the rare category. So I'd argue, do you want to pay 217? Or would you be happy with this card here, where it's a rare, it's out of 100, it's playing, you can play it obviously in the Div 4 and the Div 3 tournaments, and probably is more sellable, especially as these cards start to get out into the tens and hundreds and into toward 1,000. Now, of course, this is card one, so there's certainly value in that. But I'd argue I'd probably put my money on something like this. Let's have a quick look at Vela here. Let's go to offers. So I guess he's really the seller is putting him in line with the card. So, well, if you want card one in the limit here, I'm going to price it around what he's selling rare. That's interesting. That plays out, I guess. Good luck to him. So going forward, just what do I think here? So again, we're just going to see this. We're going to see the card number ones show a kind of an inflated stock, especially if it's a well-known player, and then for other things. I mean, I do think that we're still going to see. It's not like that the cards are going to be like a tenth of the price of the rares. We kind of see this with super rares. Some super rares are maybe 20 times or 30 times that of the rare, but a lot of super rares are only kind of maybe double, triple the price of the rares, and especially if they're kind of just mid-tier players. And I think that that goes to the point of, yes, there's kind of economics and there's sort of mathematical principles to it all, but there's also just a limited amount of funds and buyers as you move up the ranks. So when you have the lowest tier where there's 1,000 of these cards, yes, in theory it'd be worth a tenth of the rares, but people have enough money if they're playing this game to go in on that it'll actually inflate that number up. I think that these cards, these limited cards, will actually settle somewhere around kind of 25 to 30% of the price of rares, as opposed to 10%. The other thing that'll be interesting is when there's a real star player that comes out in that space. So Mbappe or something like that, or Messi. Messi will be an interesting one because he'll come out with PSG kit on, and that'll be his first card in the platform. So I have a feeling that the whales and many others will just scoop that up, and what you might see is those with big pocketbooks will actually buy 50 of them, 100 of them, and they'll actually sort of start to bring that number of 1,000 actually down, because they hold 5%, 10% of them or something like that. So so those numbers are going to stay high even beyond the card one, and I don't think you should be too worried about that. I think that new entries, people that want to get started in this, they're not necessarily going to get Messi right off the bat. So there is something to work towards. And then kind of the only other point is just around volume, and in terms of can so pump out 1,000 cards, and if they can, what is the real number for this season before the next season's cards go in? Do they only get through 400, 500, and things like that? So yes, think about it as 1,000, but if you've been playing this, been on the system, not all 100 cards of a season get released either. So it tends to kind of hover around 60 or 70. So but of course, when you have 1,000, that doesn't mean 600 or 700 is necessarily viable. So they've got to they're going to be pumping these cards out, but they also have to be increasing their marketing efforts and getting more customer acquisition. And they're not going to put hundreds of these cards out. They're going to kind of try and match the growth curve of as people join. So I actually think in this first year that these 1,000 cards, we might only see 300-400 of them. And so, keep that in mind. That actually makes them a little more scarce, especially if you are kind of into collecting a first year card of a player, almost like a rookie card, if you will. So yeah, I'm not a buyer for this, for these card ones, but I could see myself shopping a bit around card 20 and 30 and things like that, because I think that there will be some value. And if anything, what'll be interesting is that while some of my cards in rare, I guess I know most of the players, but you sort of buy what you can afford and stuff. Potentially in this limited category, you can actually buy your sort of quote unquote all-star team or your best team. I'm a big Liverpool supporter, so I might just do that. I might make limited my sort of fanboy Liverpool squad and just roll with that, or I might just grab some of the best players in the world, and that's kind of my fun team. And my rares and my super rares are a little more like investment style. So anyways, I'm sure you're thinking about all these things. Leave your comments if you like, or find me on Discord or Reddit, and we'll chat more. I'll try and uncover some more insights. Okay, thanks guys, bye.